Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year! Happy 2024. I am so excited for this year. I have a lot of ideas in my head of things that I want to accomplish and goals and resolutions, which is actually the topic of today's video. I'm going to be sharing my 2024 goals and resolutions. And I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. I'm actually going to start with even though I already talked about this in my year recap video, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below. I want to go over my 2023 goals and resolutions again, and then I'll get to the 2024 ones. I will just kind of run over these a little bit faster. I'm not going to do any explanations or anything. I'm just going to read them to you, and then I'll go into the 2024, and I'll explain those ones to you. So, I do separate my goals and resolutions. I make those two different things. So my resolutions that I had for 2023 were to get into a routine of exercising at least 3 times a week, get back into reading, continue to become a more positive and happy person and feel better about myself, and to spend more time with family. Okay, on to the goals. I have 4 goals as well. I had 4 goals. Watch at least 1 movie every week, get a tattoo, change up the things or activities I do at home, and move out. Those were my goals and resolutions that I had for 2023. The 2024 goals and resolutions. I did do 4 and 4 again, so we're gonna start with the resolutions. My first one is to really get back into reading and set aside time at home to read. So I have said that I want to get back into reading for like the last 2 years, and I'm like really motivated into getting back into reading this year. I talked about this in my year recap, how I used to read all the time in high school. It was like my favorite thing to do, and ever since I've been out of high school, I haven't really read as much or at all. So I really want to get back into reading. Like, it is something that I do like to do. I just don't have the time. But I'm gonna make the time this year, and that's why I put on there as well, is to set aside time at home to read, because I do the same thing at home every single day, which is just watch YouTube and color on my iPad, which I'm gonna continue to do. I'm just gonna break it up and not do it all the time or as much. There's so many other activities and hobbies, which I'll get into as well in my list here. But I feel like if I set aside time, even if it's just 20 minutes a day, to just sit down in silence in my room and just read, that I will be able to slowly get back into it, because that's all I really need, is just to set aside time, and I think it will really help. So that is my first resolution, is just to really seriously get back into reading, because I feel like that's just something that I kind of miss. I miss reading, and I feel like that's also becoming a more popular thing just with everyone, is just reading and getting back into reading. But yeah, so I'm really excited to hopefully read a bunch of books this year. Resolution number 2 is to work on becoming a better and safer driver. So you may not know this about me, because I've never talked about my driving on YouTube before, but I'm not the worst driver in the world. There are definitely worse drivers out there, but I definitely am a worse driver than I thought I would be when I first started driving. I have really bad patience. I have no patience, and I can get angry really easily. I wouldn't say I definitely have anger issues. I don't think I would say that they're as bad as they could be, but the two mixed together with driving don't work. and I can drive pretty recklessly. So I've gone back and forth throughout the years, more recently the last few years, of knowing that I'm doing something wrong and then wanting to work on it, and I'll be better for a little bit and then I'll just go back to my bad driving again. But I really want to work on it this year because nothing serious has happened. I've never gotten into an accident. I've never been pulled over. Like it hasn't been bad to that point where I've gotten into an accident or I've been pulled over or gotten a ticket or anything. That's never happened so far. Crossing my fingers that never happens. But I know that I need to do better so that doesn't happen. And it just, certain things have just really hit me with wanting to make this change. One of which is probably one of the most important, is that when my family drives or is in the car with me while I'm driving, like my brother and my sister and my mom, they don't feel safe while I'm driving. And that, oh my God, I'm gonna get emotional. That really hurts me and it makes me feel like a really bad person, because they don't feel safe in the car with me, and that's not okay. I did not expect to cry in this video. I'm sorry. So yeah, I really need to work on, and I've been doing good so far. Even though the new year just started, the last 2 weeks of December is when I really started to, take it seriously and try to do better with my driving. And so far I've been doing pretty good. I'm like watching my speed and making sure I'm not, getting too close to people, and just all the things that I need to do to become a better and safer driver. So that's something that I am really motivated to do better on. Okay, I can't believe I just cried right there. We're gonna move on to the next one, which is do some form of exercise at least 10 to 30 minutes a day. So I feel like I've had something related to exercising on my goals and resolutions list for probably the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years maybe. I'm not really sure. But I feel like I always need to put something like this on my list. But I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. Because if I feel like in the past when I've put like a ton of pressure on myself and been like really strict with myself about eating less or not getting fast food. Come on. My dog wants to come in. Hi. That I just have failed tremendously when I do put so much pressure on myself. So I don't want to. Hi. You want to come up? Come on. This is my dog. Say hi to the camera. Okay, you come sit next to me. You sit right there. I feel like I don't want to put like a ton of pressure on myself, but I also need to keep putting it on my list to keep reminding me that I need to do it. But I also, again, I feel really motivated this year because I did unfortunately gain some weight last year in 2023, which is never ever the goal. Obviously, I'm trying to lose weight, but I did gain. I'm not going to say how much, but I really need to take it more seriously, because also I think I did mention this in the year recap as well, is the last, I don't know, 4-ish months of the year I kind of quit exercising altogether. And I also, the last probably 3 to 4 months, maybe less, of the year, I kind of just didn't give a crap on what I was eating. I would eat whatever I wanted, however much I wanted. I didn't really care. And that definitely had an impact on the weight that I gained, because it was not that bad in the beginning or even the middle of the year. It didn't get bad until towards the end of the year, which is when I stopped exercising and started eating like crap. Like, I always eat like crap, but like to a bigger extent. Like, I would eat more than I usually would. So it doesn't have to be like a full-on workout. I've never been one to go to the gym and do a workout. I have things I can do at home. Like, I love going for walks. That's my number one, like, easy go for a walk. That's easy. We have an exercise bike at the house. We have like some weights at the house. We have it's like a treadmill, but it's not a treadmill. It's like just like a walking, whatever you want to call it. But we got rid of our treadmill, but we got this instead because it was smaller. So we have that. I can walk on that when it's not nice outside. I have options. I just have to get up and do it. That's my thing, is that I come home, I sit down in my bed, or I sit on the couch and I get comfy and I just don't feel like doing anything. So even if, like I said, even if it's just 10 minutes a day of doing something that gets my body moving, I will take it. Like, I just need to get up and get my body moving 10 to 30 minutes a day doing some form of exercise. And then the last resolution is to slow down in life, take my time with things, and try to have more patience. I feel like the trying to have more patience thing is going to be like nearly impossible, but I'm not going to say it's completely impossible. It's more so just, like I said, slowing down and just taking my time with things, because I am such a fast-paced person where things just go brrr, and I have to get done in the fastest time possible, and that goes with my driving too. I do things fast. I speed through everything, and I don't, like, I don't know. I just feel like I need to slow down and not rush things so much. That one I'm a little iffy on how that one's gonna go, but I figured I'd throw it in there anyways. So on to my goals. I have 4 goals as well, so the resolutions are kind of just like things for me to work on throughout the year, like over time. And the goals are just more like small, personal, not as serious type of things. So the first one is to work on tattoo plans, like figure out the designs I want and the placements, and maybe even start saving for tattoos, because you know those can be pretty pricey sometimes. So I have a folder on my computer of tattoo ideas, and I have a few in mind of like specific ones that I know that I want. I just have to figure out where on my body I want them, and like the specific design and like what I want it to look like type of thing. Because I feel like for me, in order for me to go get a tattoo, I need to have it planned out to a T, and like really think it through before I go and get a tattoo, because some of the tattoos that I do have, I didn't think through all the way. And I regret a little bit. Not like completely regret, but like I regret like maybe the placement of where I put it, or I wish the design would have been a little bit different, and like that type of thing. So moving forward with my tattoos, I want to make sure I'm really thinking everything through, making sure I love the placement, love the design, and just being 100% okay with what I have planned before I actually go and do it. Next on my list is to go to Disney, or at least start to plan a trip. So, after our trip in the end of 2022, we knew we were taking a break from Disney, but we didn't necessarily decide on how long that break was going to be. We knew we were going to take 2023 off for sure. Now that it's 2024, I have been and am itching to go back to Disney, as you probably would know. So we also said, though, that the next trip we wanted to take was to Disneyland. I will say that that's probably not going to happen in 2024. We're definitely going to plan the trip in 2024, but we're probably not going to be able to go until 2025. That's my guess. That's just what I'm thinking, without actually like having any plans or having talked to Ashley at all. So with that being said, I still would love to go back to Disney World. So I need to look into that and see if that's something that I can make possible this year, even if it's just a quick 3 to 5 day trip. And I would also love to take another solo trip, because I know that Ashley can't afford it as much as I can afford it usually, and she needs to save up and stuff. So that's what I'm kind of thinking, is to try to maybe plan a solo trip for this year to Disney World, but we're gonna just cross our fingers and see how things go. Like I said, if I can't actually go this year, I'm definitely gonna be planning, like 100%, I'm planning a trip this year. At least 1, maybe 2 trips this year to plan, but I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna get to go to Disney this year. I'm really hoping I can, but if I don't get to actually go, we're definitely planning. Then the next one is to look into apartments again and maybe get on some wait lists. So I'd mentioned this again in a previous video about how I live with my parents and I want to move out and get my own place, and everything's just way too expensive. I can't afford it. So I kind of want to circle back and look into them again just to see if I can find anything. And then also there were some places that we had looked at before that were kind of nice. They just had wait lists, and I never ended up, I don't know why, I never ended up filling out an application and being put on the wait list. So I would like to at least try to maybe get on some wait lists this year or something, just so I can at least have my foot in the door. And then the last one is to start some new hobbies / get back into some old ones. And this is, again, kind of goes with the reading, but there's so many other things that I can do and have been wanting to do and get back into. Like I mentioned, I have a Nintendo Switch Lite that I really hardly ever play. So I'd like to maybe get back into that. I also like writing stories, which I go back and I kind of write a little bit, take a break because I get frustrated, and then go back to writing. So I kind of do that like sporadically, but I want to get back into writing again. Obviously, reading. There's this like yarn crafts type thing that's called plastic canvas that I've done growing up here and there, so it'd be nice to do some plastic canvas again. Even just playing like regular video games on the Xbox. Ashley has an Xbox that hardly ever gets touched, so, and she did just get a new game for Christmas, so we are gonna kind of try to do some of that this year. Just doing some other activities and things other than just sitting and watching TV and, coloring on our iPads, which also, that reminds me too, is puzzles and puzzle books, because we just did, for Christmas, we had these Christmas word searches that we had for years and years and years that we never did. So we got really into that this year, like 2023 we did. And then I got that Christmas Disney puzzle that I got from Target that we put together. And now we're kind of like into maybe doing puzzles a little bit. So just other activities and whatnot. I mean, granted, we will be still watching a lot of TV and movies and stuff because we have big TV show lists and movie lists of things that need to be that we want to watch and stuff. So we will still be doing a lot of that, but we also want to do, I keep saying we, I mean, she's doing it too, but this is my video. It's about me. I'm just kidding. I want to do more like activities and other things than just the typical come home, sit in bed, watch stuff type of thing. Like, that's still going to be happening. I just want to mix in some other stuff with that. So, that's going to wrap up this video. That's my 2024 goals and resolutions. I hope that you guys have a fantastic year. Make it a great 2024. I hope that you guys accomplish all of your goals and resolutions that you have set for this year. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a magical day. Bye, guys.